Hello everyone. When I was a little girl, one of my favorite Nicktoons was Catdog. I'm sure you 90s kids remember it. A fairly comical show about a pair of Siamese twin brothers, one cat and one dog. They lived in a house with a wise-mouthed blue mouse named Winslow, and they were constantly bullied by a group of dogs known as the Greasers. According to records, this show first aired on April 4th, 1998, and it ended with an unaired episode on September 22nd, 2004. The series was created by Peter Hannon. Being a loyal follower of the show, I was rather disappointed when I found out that the series was cut in 2004. Like most other people, I hadn't seen the unaired episode, which I found out was titled Vexed of Kin / Meet Dog's Friends. One day while browsing a local yard sale, I came across a DVD in a plain clear case. It was obviously a burned DVD, as it was the Memorex brand. Anyway, it had Catdog for the birds, messily scrawled on it in black Sharpie marker. I've never heard of this episode. It must have been some kind of mysterious lost episode. I had to have it. I asked the woman, she was about in her 40s, in charge, how much she wanted for it. She didn't know, it belonged to her son, she said. So she sprinted into her house and brought out a young man, probably in his mid-20s, who was apparently her son. He was very thin, pale, and had deep dark circles around his eyes. He looked malnourished and like he hadn't slept in weeks. I showed him the DVD, smiled politely at him, and asked, "How much?" He gave me a look like someone who was in shock and terribly nauseous at the same time. "What? How did that get there?" "Never mind, just take it." I kind of felt bad for him. Maybe he reacted like this because he was feeling ill, and he was trying to sleep when his mom brought him outside. I gave him a kind smile, and I told him I hoped he would be feeling better soon, then said farewell. I dashed home, eager to view my new DVD. I sat down in front of my TV and popped the disc into my DVD player, and pressed play on the remote. At first there was a minute of pure static. I thought this was very strange, considering this was a DVD, not a VHS tape. I've experienced static on VHS tapes in the past, so that would have made sense. I could swear that for about a millisecond I saw a face in the static, and it felt like I was being watched. After the static, it cut to the opening theme. I smiled, enjoying the feeling of joyful nostalgia that comes with watching one of my old favorites.
One fine day with a woof and a purr, a baby was born and it caused a little stir. No blue-buzzard, no three-eyed frog, just a feline canine little cat dog. Cat dog, cat dog, alone in the world with a little cat dog. Out on the road or back in town, all kind of critters putting cat dog down. Gotta rise above it, gotta try to get along, gotta walk together, gotta sing this song. Cat dog, alone in the world with a little cat dog. Cat dog, cat dog, cat dog, cat dog, alone in the world with a little cat dog.
When the opening theme was over, it showed the title card. It was plain white lettering on a red background, with what looked like crows in the background. The title said, "For the Birds." The episode started out with Dog stretching and yawning before cheerfully proclaiming, "It's a beautiful day!" Then he hears a familiar sound. "Garbage truck!" he yells, gleefully, and jumps out of bed, dragging a drowsy and more than annoyed cat with him. "Dog, I need my sleep," Cat growled. Dog didn't hear him. "Garbage truck! Garbage truck! Garbage truck!" He ran down the street and sped past the Greasers. The chase went on for about 5 minutes with the usual goofiness of Cat bumping himself off of objects, yelling, "My body, my body, my body," etc. Dog kept running as the garbage truck safely drove over the train tracks. Cat followed after, but suddenly he heard a train whistle and a loud screech. Cat and Dog couldn't get out of the way in time. The Greasers watched with a look of terror and disgust. Cliff and Lube doubled over and vomited. Shriek began sobbing uncontrollably. Out of the blue, a huge flock of crows dove down and began feasting on Catdog's recently deceased corpse. The screen started showing graphic snapshots of the birds ripping apart Catdog's remains, while Freebird by Lynyrd Skynyrd plays. This continues for the rest of the episode, the images getting more and more detailed and gruesome. Then the ending credits rolled, just plain white letters scrolling down a black background. I tried ejecting the DVD, but the player didn't seem to want to open. When it finally came out, the disc was partially melted, and it had deep scratches on the bottom of the disc. I tried to pick up the disc, but it was burning hot. I freaked out and threw it in the trash. I still have nightmares about this episode. Sometimes I dream about the face from the static. Sometimes I see it at night when I'm trying to sleep, just out of the corner of my eye. It's always brief, but I can always feel it watching me.